back. If you are just joining us, this is Firecrackers. You've missed quite a lot, but don't worry, you can catch up with us on our Facebook page where we stream live. And now we are going to talk about luxury vehicles for our lawmakers. Necessity or wasteful spending? Let us even start with that. What are your thoughts on it? Is it a necessity? Because they try to make it seem like they tailored a lot of arguments that this is the reason why we need these vehicles. But stakeholders are arguing about that.
I listened to the argument of the Senate chairman of services committees on services justifying the reason why they have to buy this SUV. And I'm telling myself, if they succeed this time in buying this SUV and Nigerians do nothing about it, let's just forget about the whole thing that's called politics in Nigeria. Because, like I said, it's not for service. You are saying you are justifying because the ministers, they should make laws in that National Assembly that even the minister, if we have this economy that we have in Nigeria today, even the minister should drive vehicles that are made in Nigeria. So you cannot say because the ministers are doing the wrong thing, then you must join them. You are the one representing us. And we are hearing Nigerians are living in multidimensional poverty. And all you can think about is how you want to acquire this luxury SUV of 160 million for 500 and something number, I don't know, units. And we look at the exchange rate. And so that thought should not even come to them. And if they think that they should not buy an SUV that is more than 40 million, but better buy IVM in Onitsha or whatever, or the one that is being assembled in Lagos, that I see the commissioners in Lagos driving as official vehicles. I don't know why they should think they must drive those cars. And another excuse that the roads are bad. What made the roads to be bad? What do we need to make the roads good? Is it not money? Okay, if you spend this money to go and buy luxury vehicles, which money will government have to work on those roads to make them good? It doesn't make sense. I'm sorry.
Definitely. And now to Lagi Innocent, what are your thoughts on this? SUV, luxury SUV for our lawmakers. Is it that our leaders deserve the best of the best, or it's just wasting our money?
Just unlawful and corrupt, and I'll explain to you why I say that. I was in the House of Assembly in 2008. I was also the Attorney General of Nasarawa State, as you have mentioned. Now, the remuneration of public office holders are determined by the revenue mobilization. Now, cars. You are entitled to 300% of the total annual pay that you have as a car allowance. Now, the National Assembly is acting unlawfully and outside the recommendation of the revenue mobilization to even purchase official transport. They are supposed to be given money, a car of their choice, but it's about 300 total annual. So unless we begin this point of view of the point is, are they entitled to official vehicles? Does their condition of service provides for them to buy cars, or they are just supposed to be given on the road? But this is all about the National Assembly will buy the cars and they will inflate it and dash these members over and above what the law is. I said this earlier. In fairness to my colleague in your studio, we are trusting human beings to make decisions that we know they don't have the capacity to do. And that is why institutions do exist. That is why the Revenue Mobilization and Fiscal Commission is set up by law to do exactly what I'm saying now. They are supposed to make recommendations, and those recommendations, interestingly, as soon as they make those recommendations, it becomes law and it is applicable immediately. They don't need to take it to the National Assembly or get any approval. And I challenge you in this studio, find out what the recommendation of the Revenue and Fiscal Commission is on the remuneration and entitlement of cars to members. You'll find out exactly what I'm telling you. Now, but the three arms of that balance one another. When the executive is wrong, the legislature balance the legislature. Of government are wrong, the judiciary. But what we have right now is competition on how to plunder this country, a competition of who is more unlawful than. So instead of the executive for plundering this country in the manner that is being explained as justification by the National Assembly, the National Assembly is trying to outdo in corruption and what the executive government is doing. The judiciary, another breath, says we need independence, we also need our money so that we can do exactly what the executive is doing. And then at the end of the day, government exists only if it fits the people in the government. And that is the failure completely. There is just no governance in Nigeria if we have to, let's even say for the sake of ability of the offices for which we occupy us, or is supposed to check the excess of the executive. And if the executive acted in excess by plundering this country, it is the duty and responsibility of the legislature to do it was wrong. The legislature to say, because you stole, we too are entitled to steal.
Definitely. And do you see perhaps this scenario if, let's say that, okay, we agree with their justifications that the road is bad and then no one is really looking into the expenses of ministers who have about 4 cars or so. Would you say that if they have used this car for the tenure of 4 years, then they should leave it there? It should not be their own personal property. But then the next people that would be elected into the National Assembly, they should take possession of the car. So if we are going to target that, okay, these vehicles are officially the National Assembly representatives' vehicle, do you see such going on, or it should not even be purchased at all in the first place?
I think it should not be purchased at all. I think they should be sensitive. If they are making laws for us, if they are going there to represent us, please drive made in Nigerian car. That will help our economy. That will help to create jobs. Don't outsource this money to Japan, where you are bringing these cars from, or whatever country. Because what you are doing is you are helping them to employ their people there while you are taking the jobs away from here. Imagine if those vehicles are bought from made in Nigeria. You are making laws for Nigerians. You are not making laws for over there. So if you are making laws for those who are Nigerian, drive made in Nigerian vehicles that your citizens that you are making laws for are driving and are still driving on those roads, so that you can save money and the government can have money to work on those roads that is taking people's lives away. Look at Lagos. Look at the Third Mainland Bridge that is not motorable for a while until emergency work was done. Even in Lagos here, the road from Lagos here to Abeokuta is not motorable. The Senate president said so. He drove on that road and he couldn't believe himself. So we have all of this. There is not time for you to drive. If the ministers are doing that, we trust you as our elected representative to call them to order, because you have the power to do it.
Not following their footsteps.
Not following in their footsteps. 2 wrongs, they say, does not make it right.
Definitely.
Thank you.
Both of our guests are really giving us something deep to think about today. Thank you so much for being on the show with us today. And that's Dr. Felix Olorunda, public affairs analyst and security expert. Many thanks for being with us on Firecrackers today.
Thank you for having me.
And also many thanks to Lagi Innocent, who joined us live from Abuja, the former Attorney General of Nasarawa State. We thank you so much for sharing your views with us on the show.
Thank you.
All right, and this is where we'll be drawing the curtains close on today's episode of Firecrackers. I hope you've learned as much as I have, and I sincerely hope that everyone is taking actions towards making this Nigeria what you wish that Nigeria would be. So we won't all travel out of the country because we are fed up with this country. So let us start taking active steps to making this Nigeria of the one we have in our head the ideal country we want it to be like. Many thanks for being with us on the program. My name is Ireba Misalako. See you same time, same station next week. Do have a great week ahead.